my channel, you guys. I'm going to be doing a series of videos because that's how I like to do them now. I like to try to knock them out. So yes, you'll be seeing the same outfit, but it's all good. This video is going to be about how to tips on how to get the best twist out. I see a lot of people still struggle with trying to get a good twist out, and I did for about the first year or two, and that's really because I didn't do enough research really on my hair. And it goes back to why some people say, oh, I don't really like that I have 4C hair. It's not the texture of the hair, it's technique and how you do things. So I'm gonna try to do these tips. Once I find out how many tips I'm gonna give, I'll name the video whether it's 5 or 6 or 7 tips, but I'm gonna go ahead and go down the line of some things that I believe will get you to a great twist out. So let's go. First things first, you want to make sure that your hair is trimmed or dusted or whatever you want to do. You don't want to style your hair ever and you have split ends, you have damaged ends, heat damage, unless you plan on just growing it out, or you're purposely transitioning from permed hair. These styles you mainly want to do kind of like maybe braid outs, roller sets, flexi rods, things like that. Twist outs, I don't know how that will really work with damaged hair or permed hair, because I never was interested in transitioning. I'm a type of person where I'm like, just give me a fresh start. I don't want to be working with 2 different textures and waiting 2 or 3 years before I cut. No. I'm like, it's gonna grow back, cut it off, cut it off. Y'all know me by now, just cut it off. So yeah, that's the first thing. You always want to make sure that your hair has a nice trim or dusting. Dusting, of course, is when you 2-strand twist your hair and then you clip the ends. And then trimming is like if you blow dry your hair out, or you can do it on wet hair and you trim your ends as you go. You pin it up and you go to the next section. Or you can go to a professional if you trust that they won't cut off a lot of inches of your hair. They also have plenty of videos on how you do that here on YouTube. Second tip is, depending on what kind of twist out you are desiring to do, you want to style either on wet or dry hair. So like with this was styled on kind of wet, dryish hair. This was not complete damp, like completely damp close to wet hair. This wasn't like bone dry hair. It was like semi-wet and dry because I allowed my hair to air dry overnight, things like that. I was really being lazy. I was being so lazy. I do not feel like styling my hair right now because I'm so worried about my babies and getting through the day. So once I actually did style my hair, I made sure I dampened my hair with my little spray bottle and things like that. But anywho, if you're looking for a more fluffy look, a more stretched look, then you want to do like on dry hair. And that's kind of what I got. Again, I did get some definition, and and you can kind of see that towards the back pieces because I didn't really fluff that out too much. But if you want a really ultra defined hair, you want to do it on wet hair. Not drenched, not soaking wet hair, but like a damp hair. So if you get in the shower, you wash your hair, within maybe like 25 to 30 minutes, you want to go ahead and style your hair. If you wait 3, 4, 5 hours the next day, stretch your hair out, band it out, then you're just going to get more length, but it won't really be a lot of definition, so keep that in mind. Step 3 is definitely about technique. So a lot of people, they just think you just grabbing your hair and you're just trying to just twist over and twist over. No. As I showed you in my defined 4C hair, I'll show you with this piece here in the front. You're going to want to take your hair, split it down the middle, make sure both sides are even. Okay, you don't want one side having a little piece of hair like this, and then the other side having a whole bunch of hair like this. And you're trying to twist that little piece of hair over this big piece of hair. I've seen it done, so don't even think like, well, why would someone do that? People have done that, even myself. So you want to make sure you split the hair down the middle. You can see your scalp. Make sure both sides are even all the way down. And I'll show you one way, and then I'll show you the way that I do it. You can do your hair like this. As you're crossing, make sure you're not pulling, like trying to rip your hair out your scalp, but tug on it enough where it's taut, like it's really, straight. And then you want to cross it over and keeping that hair taut, like keeping it within your index finger and your thumb finger. And as you're twisting, you're not really letting go. You are just constantly twisting, twisting, and you're using your index and your thumb. That is it. And you're doing this all the way down the hair shaft. As you get close down to the middle, twist, and you should see that little curl there. And voila. This is more of chunky, of course, if you don't want a chunky twist out, you would do them a little smaller than this. That's going to be another tip. So, yeah, that's the first way. And then how I show how I did it, basically is the same thing, except for I go down the hair shaft. And I got this from a fellow YouTuber here on YouTube. As you're twisting, take the index and thumb and go down the hair shaft as you're twisting. This has been proven to me over and over that it will give you really great definition on your twist out. So that's that. Your technique does matter. So keep that in mind. Step 5, I believe, or is it step 4? I don't know if I'm on 4 or 5, but anyway, you want to make sure that you're using a good product. Now, I just did a video on the best stylers that I use for my 4C hair. You can check that and see if you like any stylers or any of your own. You want to make sure your styler is not really water-based. Now, the water-based ones that I did mention in my video and other ones, you can use them sometimes, but you want to make sure that you've tried these products over and over again and you know that this product is going to get you that definition. If not, try to go for like a more jelly thing like flaxseed gel, Shea Moisture's curling gel souffle. You want to go with something like a butter, a wax, the Camille Rose Dry Twisting Butter, the Command Biologic Hydrate and Twist Butter. Both of those butters do an amazing job with twisting it up, and once you take it down, you got a nice definition. Okay, step 6, you want to make sure that whichever way that you're doing your hair, you want to see if you're going to want to go for a more defined look. You want to do your hair in smaller sections. If you don't want a good defined hair, then you want to do chunky twists. Smaller twists take more time, but they give you great definition. If you're trying to rush through, you're trying to hurry up and get done, you want to do bigger sections, bigger twists, you're not going to get much definition. It's going to be a chunky twist out. So you definitely want to decide which route you want to go down and set some time aside. If you need to come back to do it a little later because it's taking too long, then do so. But you will see a great difference if you actually take your time out and do your section smaller and your twist a little smaller. Once you take it out, you'll have more definition. Tip number 7, I would like to say, it depends on how long you keep your hair in. Now, I see a lot of tutorials where some women, they'll do their hair, they'll wash and dry and style it, and then they're taking it out within the same day because they're going to a party, or even if they have to go to work the next morning, they're taking it down the next day. And that's cool. Some people's hair dries quickly and their hair is able to just get all together. My hair is kind of different. I have low porosity. And so, it takes a little while for my hair to dry. So I try to make sure that I keep my twist in for at least bare minimum 2 days. 1 day is not going to do enough for me. really, unless I style on dry hair. Going back to dry hair, if your hair is not like damp wet, then yeah, you can style on that hair and then, you know, wake up the next day and it's fine. But if your hair is wet, damp, you might want to give your hair a little bit more time to dry, and then that way your hair is more defined. So it definitely matters how long you keep your hair in. Again, I try to leave my hair in for 3 to 4 days. This, I left this in for like a week, and again, that's because I was being very lazy. And I also took my pick and I went to fluff up the top because I wanted to keep my sides short. I'm gonna have to go back and get these ends, these sides trimmed down because I want to keep my taper look for a little while. Anywho, yes. My last tip is just what I just said about going through with your pick. This is gonna be my last tip for you guys. When you use your pick is for styling and fluffing your hair up, getting it to raise the roots up so it can stand up. If you want a fluffy look, then yes, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You know, fluff that hair, fluff that hair. That means you're going for a more stretched look, a more tall, defined look. But if you're going for just straight definition, you don't want to pick your hair and just keep picking and keep picking and keep picking. No, you're gonna want to just take the pick like this, go up like that. That's simple. You know, back when I first went natural, I didn't know. I was taking this thing and pulling it all the way through. I was using this thing like it was a comb, y'all. And I was like, why my hair don't come out like such and such? And I was like, girl, that's because you're using this pick like it's a comb, my love. Don't do that. So, yeah, I think that's about everything. Tip number 9, and this is actually going to be the last tip. I said 8 was, but 9 will be. You want to make sure that when you're taking your hair down, that you are doing so gently and properly. You want to make sure that you're applying some kind of oil or moisturizer on your fingertips only and running it through your hair first, or you can rub it through and then take it through each one as you go, so it can prevent frizz. You know, you can do everything right and then it's time to take your hair down and you're trying to rush. Don't be like trying to take your hair on. You got 5 minutes to get to class or get to work, and then you rushing through your hair and you done messed your hair up. You know, take your time. You know, as you're unraveling your hair, allow your hair to just untwist itself. And as you go around, you know, shake your hair, you know, fluff it out. And also with that, be sure not to overly separate. You know, the same thing with the pick. You don't want to keep going through it so much. And the same things, like some people, you know, I see a lot of YouTube people there, because they want big hair. They'll just keep separating that one twist or braid to the point where it can't even separate no more. And so you don't even see the definition. You just see a bunch of body, which is cool, again, if that's the look you're going for. But if you're going for a more defined look, you might want to separate once or maybe not at all. Me personally, when my hair is really short, I don't separate that much. My main thing was, like I said, I do the whole pick thing, but my hair is still intact as far as the twist, because that's the kind of look that I'm going for. So if you want to keep that definition, again, try to separate one time or really not at all. Your pick can be your best friend when you don't really have to separate, but if you have to because you're twisted crazy, just try to do it one time. Don't go bananas. Let me know which tip stood out to you the most. Like I said, I probably messed up. I don't know how many tips I didn't gave y'all. I'll be sure to correct it once I go through with my editing. But yes, I hope these tips will help you all out there who are still struggling with doing a twist out. And always remember, the practice makes perfect. It may take someone on the first try. It might take you 2 or 3 years. But hey, you keep on trying, you're going to get it down packed eventually. And just be cautious again of your technique, what products you're using, how long you're keeping your hair in, and yada yada yada. So this video is getting long. So I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.